Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Today is election day. It is election day. So if you haven't done so, please be sure that you go out and vote today. Go to your polling locations. Be sure that you are looking at your sample ballots thoroughly before you turn in your real ballots. But today is election day. So please go out and vote. Please encourage any young people that you know that are of the age of 18 and up to go vote as well. We want to emphasize that their vote matters as well. But today it is Tuesday, November the 7th, 2023, and we are back at it again with another edition of News in Motion. Whether you are tuning in live here at 7:25 a.m. or if you are catching the replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or in the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for tuning in, showing your support, and showing your love. Whether you're tuning in through Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, or if you're an audio and podcast listener, thank you for turning your dials to NIM today for your relevant commentary and call to action news. But be sure that, especially if you're in the state of Ohio, to go out and vote. Encourage some young people to vote. Um, I will be voting after I get off work today. So be sure to do your part, use your voice, and go out and vote. I see you, Miss Marian Jackson, tuning in through YouTube. Good morning, Miss Shirley Nicholson, tuning in through Facebook. Good morning, Miss Regina Shorts. Good morning, Mr. Big K Kenny Stanley. We miss you over here on the News in Motion family. I hope your seminar is doing well. We miss you. I'll be tuning into Game Over sometimes on the Saturdays, but hope you're doing well, Mr. K. Good morning, Miss Felicia Williams, tuning in through Facebook. Good morning, Dr. Antoinette, and good morning, Miss Deborah Johnson. So, without further delay, y'all know what we're gonna do. Let's get ready for some news in motion.
News in motion.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning to all of you. It is election day. All across the United States, it is election day. This is not your general election, but this is an election that is just as important as what we will be facing in 2024. So good morning to all of you. I see you, Robert Holman, coming in here. I think I saw Pastor Alex pop in here as well. What's up, Shardinia? Good morning to you. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all are live and popping. My phone started ringing at 6 a.m. No joke. And normally it's on Do Not Disturb. But for some reason, it was not on Do Not Disturb. It normally doesn't come up till 7. And the phone has been ringing. My husband said, they rely on you that much for voting. I said, yes, they do, hon. And the phone, and I tell everyone, I cannot tell you how to vote. But this is where I will send you to get the information you need. Even family members were calling me. Hey, I know you're about to start the show, but I got a quick question. These are really those who live in Ohio asking questions. So it's just really interesting. It's really interesting. And I sit back and I say to myself, how can I make this work? Knowing that this many people rely on me to help them navigate the election. I see you, Terry Davis. I see you, Lori Wallace. Jackie says, so glad I already turned in my absentee ballot. Great, great, great. If many of you have seen my or saw my my Facebook post yesterday evening, the one thing that I'm looking forward to is 7 p.m. tonight Eastern time, when all of those lying commercials go off the air. I'm like over it. I'm absolutely over it. All right, y'all, it's election day. If you have not already done so, make sure you vote. This segment is built around this election on today. So first off, y'all, election protection. If you're headed out there, if you did not vote early or send in your absentee ballot and you are absolutely going to the polls, we want to talk about election protection. So we have an image we're going to pop up on election protection. And we just want you to know here are some phone numbers that you can contact. Okay. These numbers, you have it in English, Spanish, Chinese, Vietnamese, Korean, or Arabic, so forth and so on, sign language, video call number. All of this information is here. Take a screenshot of this so that you can use it and pass it on to whomever may need this information. Also, we have a banner that we're going to pop up that talk about some numbers you can call as well. Isaiah will be popping those up as we're going to. There's your election protection 1866 our vote. That is one of the numbers. And I think we have another number. Voting rights hotline is 800-253-3931. So we want to make sure you have that information. Marion saying she is so glad she voted early. Donita said, good morning to you. I'm voting after this. I'm voting after this. I think I told y'all that story, so I'm not going to go back again. So, y'all, please, please, please vote. So, what's happening out here, y'all? So in Ohio, that's why my phone's been ringing since 6 a.m. this morning. I'm like, if y'all don't learn how to read these things, and they're like, but we know you know what you're talking about. And I said, well, thank you for believing in me and believing in my work. But I'm not doing a good job if I'm not encouraging you to read these things for yourselves. I want you all to learn how to read these. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So in Ohio, across Ohio, we have two issues. Issue one and issue number two. I'm not going to go into detail with either one of them, but pay attention. Read the measure, read the referendum, read it, read what is on there, read it. Now, there's some confusion with issue one for this particular vote day. Issue one in August that we voted for in Ohio on August the 8th is different than the issue one that we're voting for today. And again, I blame anybody who allowed the same issue number to be repeated 3 months later. That was just wrong. Hey, what's up, Latrice Jones? Yes, girl, get out and vote today if you haven't already done so. So I do take issue with the fact that they allowed this issue to remain the same number. Right there, that's a trick. Okay, because for many people, and again, it depends upon where you stand. For many people, if you voted no on issue one in August, you kind of like will vote yes on issue one today, but you have to read the measure because maybe you'll still vote no. But this is not the same issue. So please read it. And then issue number two is all about cannabis. Cannabis. So read the issues for yourself. You make the decision, okay? And then different counties across Ohio, there are some other key measures. That shirt is fire. That's my vote shirt, girl. That's my vote shirt. Y'all can buy one of these too. Let me put that image up. Boom, there it is. Just go to the website, www.gaildudley.com/shop, and you can get it. We need this. We need this wear going into 2024. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Latrice Jones said that this issue one mess is trickery. Listen, and again, I cannot wait until 7 p.m. tonight because I'm over these commercials. My thing is, if you have to lie to win, then you still didn't win. You lied. And who wants to get into something based on a lie? It would just continue to perpetuate the lies over and over and over again. Good morning, Hester. So y'all go to ballotpedia.org. Uh, no matter where you live, whatever state, county, or whatever, go in there, put in your address, pull up a sample ballot, and go from there. I cannot stress that enough. So that's what's happening with issue one and two in Ohio. There's other things, key county races. I know in Franklin County in Ohio, you have the mayor's race, you have city council, you have the school board, and y'all need to read everything that's out there. And then in other counties, there's more, like in Delaware County where I live, there's some kind of heated school board races. There's just so much. And y'all, voting starts on the local level first. I cannot stress that. Then if you're in Kentucky, hello, Kentucky. Um, I did this in a question. Will the attorney general become the governor? He's 37-year-old Republican candidate Daniel Cameron. Y'all remember him as the whole thing with the Breonna Taylor piece there. Or will the current Democrat incumbent Andy Bashir remain governor for the second term? That race is very, very close. So make sure if you are out there in Kentucky, vote. There's a lot of pushback of the current Supreme Senate in Kentucky, the state Senate in Kentucky, because of their referendum when it comes to women's rights for their bodies and abortions and so forth. And they're saying 12% is agreeing with what the Senate is currently doing, where it is. They don't care what the issue is or what happened. A no means no. And women are pushing back on that there. Even men are pushing back on that there in Kentucky. So pay attention to that. Kentucky, make sure you're reading everything that's out there before you go vote. All right, in Georgia, my gosh, my gosh. I want to read some. I bought my glasses up in here today because y'all know I haven't been able to see lately. Y'all in Georgia, especially DeKalb County, pay attention to several things. I was reading this with my daughter. I was like, say what? Yeah, you got to pay attention to this in DeKalb County. DeKalb County has a suspension of the homestead option sales tax and approval of equalized homestead option sales tax. Make sense. Didn't I just read the same thing twice? That's how it's worded. They also have the DeKalb County Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax. It's like, well, isn't that the same as the one before? Then they also have the homestead exemption for residents 65 years of age or older or who are disabled. But then get this, they have the next one that says DeKalb County School District homestead exemption for residents 62 years of age or older or who are disabled. Well, aren't they the same thing? But the thing that changed was 62 years old to 65 years old. So those two, you have to really read these things, y'all. It's crazy. And this is their sample ballot. And their ballots are long. That's like, what is going on here? Because now, here, I'm going to give y'all this example. This is a sample ballot in DeKalb County. You literally have to read all of this to get an understanding of what's happening. So make sure you print your sample ballot out before you go, because that's a whole lot to read and to get an understanding of what's being said. So this is DeKalb County. They also have a special purpose local option sales tax. They also have City of Decatur homestead exemption. It's like they have 4 or 5 of these exemption things. They also have City of Decatur Independent School District homestead exemption. Read, read, Georgia, read. Because DeKalb County, I don't know. And this is going to come back to y'all's property taxes. Yeah, no, I have to laugh. My daughter's a homeowner now. She's like, Mom, listen. I said, well, do you want to pay taxes? Like, what do you want to do? She said, what? Mom, I said, girl, just welcome to adulting. Just welcome to adulting. You wanted it, now you got it. So now she's like really paying attention to all this. When your money is kind of in it, you look at voting differently. You're like, what's really going on here? They said Fred Jones. What is Fred Jones doing? My word, what is happening here? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, how we get those little thumbs up on there? I don't know how y'all did that, but I thought it was pretty cool. So, okay, let's keep going. Mississippi. Wow, y'all, Mississippi. This is going to be good. The GOP governor Tate Reeves is seeking re-election, though nobody likes him. Nobody likes him. Nobody. But Brando Priestley, I think that's his name, Brando, is a Democrat and a second cousin to Elvis Presley. I should say Presley, not Priestley. Uh, will he be voted in? And people are saying they're going to vote for him just because of his name recognition. No, no, don't do that. Don't vote for somebody because of name recognition. Vote for them based upon understanding how they're going to vote and how they're going to help you, the constituents, how they're going to help with the laws, how they're going to help make some changes. But now I'll tell you this about Presley, what he's doing. He's like, yeah, there's a crazy tax on groceries in Mississippi. And he's like, we're about to wipe that out. And people are loving that right now in inflation. So we're going to see how that's happening. Virginia, my word, Virginia. Y'all, Virginia, they purged 3,400 eligible voters from their vote rolls. That's what they did. They did that. So they finally admitted that they did it, right? Fred Jones says people go in name recognition a lot because they don't do their homework. You're right, Fred. And we got to change that narrative. We have to teach them, don't do that. Don't do that. So y'all, Virginia purged all these voters, eligible voters, more than 10 times that they had estimated. So we have Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin's administration. They acknowledged, like, okay, we messed up, we did it. No, y'all just can't quickly say y'all messed up, y'all did it, and be done with it. You can't do that. But that's what they did. They're saying they were wrongfully removed. So as of about maybe just 24 hours ago, did they reinstate everybody that they purged? Everybody who's eligible. Well, now people are calling for the Justice Department to step in because there's nothing but confusion. Like, can I vote? Where do I vote? Am I really on the list? Are you going to make me vote provisional? What is it that's going on? And why do I need to do this? So there's a lot of confusion. So we don't know what's about to happen. And now the secret is the behind the scenes conversation is if Youngkins can flip all of these. Let me tell y'all what's happening. It's a critical vote today in Virginia. So y'all just didn't do that just to mistakenly do that. No, y'all had another plan. All 40 Senate seats and 100 seats in the House of Delegation, they're all up for re-election. Yeah. And pretty much the Democrats control them. So y'all just gonna purge Democrats from your polling 3,400. Where that number come from? Let's talk about that. Let's start there. Y'all, these are the kind of questions we need to ask. Something smells here. Anybody in the chat want to agree with me that something smells on here? And if y'all are missing Adrian or Yvonne Gardner or Kim Edmondson, they're at the polling locations this morning working. I believe Dr. Antoinette is as well. So if you're missing some regular people in the chat, they signed up to become election poll workers. And so they're at the polls right now doing their job. So let's pray for them and all poll workers that are out there. So that's what's happening there. So if you're in Virginia, Virgie Banks, I don't know if you're on here this morning, just call your people and tell them to just go and put up that voting rights number again. Isaiah, give them this number, and because they should not have to vote provisional ballot. They should be able to call this number and make sure they can vote. Now, it may take a little bit of time, but stay there. Just stay there and stay the course. Y'all, even in elections like what we're having today, you still have to stay the course. You still have to stay the course. This election is just as important. No, Dr. Antoinette said, nope, I'm here. She's in here. No election in my area, but you can always cover me in prayer. I will always cover you in prayer, sis. And Marion says, I agree that something fishy is going on. Listen, in Virginia, something's fishy going on there. But y'all, all of these line up. All right, y'all, in Pennsylvania, hello, Pennsylvania. Voters will vote to fill the state Supreme Court seat. And that is like hot and on fire. So that is happening. Again, y'all, if you don't have any idea what's happening, go to ballotpedia.org and download a sample ballot. Just download it. Fold it up, take it in there. What you cannot do is call people while you're voting saying, how do I vote? That's illegal. They can void you. Don't do that. But you can take your sample ballots or the stuff you got into the in the mail or whatnot. You can take that with you. Again, y'all been calling me since 6 a.m. I got it. Latrice Jones, we got to figure out something. Gail Dudley got to get paid. Y'all bring up my phone at 6 a.m. I'm glad you love me and trust me and believe in the work that I'm doing, but we got to work something out here because going into 2024, I can only imagine. All right, y'all, check your Secretary of State's office, state's website for the type of ID that you need. But I got some essentials for you. So let me go down the row here and give you this information. So when voting in an election, pay attention to various key words and terms on the ballot. Now, y'all, these are wording is important. Pay attention to what you are reading. Seriously, y'all, pay attention. Because once you put it in there, you can't change it once you submit it. Now, you have an opportunity to review it. But once you hit submit, it's over. The fat lady has sung. Y'all, okay, so look at the candidates' names. Okay, good morning, Patricia. The names of individuals running for various positions. Pay attention to the names. Not name recognition. No. Not unless you don't want the former guy running for anything. And just, I'm only going to say this about him yesterday. That was a toddler in court. And actually, I think toddlers behave better than he behaved. And that was ridiculous. That was a show. That was nothing but a show. And I think as citizens of the United States of America, we need to put some legislation on the books that says that if anybody, we don't care who you are, if we go into jail or for contempt of court, you too. You should not be exempt at all. And then those of us who, y'all know, I got to give this side note. Mike Johnson, speaker, and I'm starting to think that was all planned. I'm not trying to be conspiracy, but something ain't right here. How he's trying to not tax certain people and tax other people and this, that, and the other, and the $1 billion of people who are billionaires haven't paid taxes. Well, if we just stop paying taxes, what? Now y'all gonna come for us? Like seriously, we need to have the same rules for everybody. Same rules. I just wanted to put that in there. Look at party affiliation if you're big on that. Referendum and initiatives, y'all. In some elections, there may be questions or proposition for voters to decide on. Read it. Please read it. I'm begging you to read it. Bond measures, propositions, amendments, judges. Read it. Read it. I cannot say, we talked about this in 2022. There's somebody right now in Indianapolis. They're in jail for conviction of killing their wife, and they got voted in. Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? So read. Please, y'all. We don't need a president in prison. As a president, we don't need that. So y'all read, pay attention to this. Dr. Antoinette said the Dems should have gotten behind the adopt. There you go. Latrice Jones, same rules for everyone. Please. Good morning, Elizabeth. Please. All right, y'all. Judges, school board. Woo, y'all better pay attention to who y'all putting in y'all's baby schools. I'm just gonna say that and leave it right there. What do they do? What do they do for their extracurricular activities? That's the nicest way I can say it on this digital platform today. Read. Find out who they are. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Write-in. Sometimes you can do a write-in ballot. Voting instructions. Y'all always read them first because they're changing on us all the time. And then polling place information. Just make sure you know where you're going. All right. This is something that's very passionate to many of us, especially Elizabethtown. So I wanted to bring this out this morning as well. Assisting your loved ones who may need assistance, because there are a lot of elderly or those who are disabled that still want to come in on election day. They don't want to send in an absentee ballot. They don't want to vote early. They just believe in voting on the day. So offer transportation so that they don't have to do the bus. Check voting requirements ahead of time. Help them go through that. Help them understand the necessary documents. These are not the same documents that they voted on 50 years ago. So check that. Accompany them inside. Let them know that, let the polling people know that you're there to assist them. You will not be voting for them. Because now it's electronic. A lot of people don't understand the electronics. Listen, I'm talking about my own parents. They're like, what is this? And you have to be careful what you share and what you can't share. So my parents now do absentee, and that just drives my dad nuts. So, but that's the only way, because he wouldn't know what to do. He don't even know how to check out of a daggone grocery store. So I'm just saying what I'm saying. Elizabethtown says school board is so important. Absolutely. So they're necessary. Accompany them inside. Ask for assistance if needed. If the elderly voter needs help with reading the ballot, making choices, or using the voting equipment, ask a poll worker for assistance. Make sure they're stay by them and make sure they're not being taken advantage of. Be patient. Okay. We read stuff quickly. We were taught how to find keywords and read because of the computers and everything. Y'all be patient with the elderly. Listen, my sister and brothers on here, they can tell you this is true. My parents were not receiving the literature that come in that they normally use. Okay. And so I said, oh, no problem. I'm going to print you out something from Ballotpedia. I'll bring it by. Well, I took it over. They looked at like, what is this, Gail? I said, just read it. But what is this? I mean, it was like, oh, I can't help y'all. Like, because I know this. I'm like, I'm not the patient one. So I left that for my sister Pat to handle because I couldn't do it. I was like, I'm out. Got to protect my peace. I'm out. But they didn't understand it. And it took my other sister to bring her literature to sit down so they can see it, face recognition, name recognition. I mean, that's how they had to vote. And I was like, whoo. Elizabeth Town said, absolutely, the right case a to case a physical vote, to cast a physical vote, excuse me, is important to many of our elders. You can help them in the voting booth. You just cannot vote. You cannot vote for them. She is telling y'all the truth. You can't do that. Respect their choices. You know, if they say, well, I'm voting no for issue 2 in Ohio. That's the whole cannabis. And you're like, come on now, you might need this to make it through the next day. Respect their choices. Just respect their choices. Stay informed. Help with special needs. Don't forget, if you are visually impaired, there's a screening room for you where you can get a different ballot. Know your rights. Know your rights. Ask for that particular ballot. If you have a hearing impairment, you can request that somebody comes along in sign language for you. That's your rights. You can ask for that. Know your rights. Y'all see, we got a lot of work to do when it comes January 2024 because primary starting in March. So we're going to be hitting the ground running right after the holiday season. And then y'all, make sure they got their medication and stuff, okay? And then stay until they voted. And then thank the poll workers for helping. All of us that will go out and vote today. Thank the poll workers. Please do that. All right, y'all. And of course, y'all like this for some reason. People were asking me to send this. And I was like, I'm not going to send it, but I'll cover it on tomorrow. All right, y'all know what I say. Voter ID. Make sure you have voting ID. Make sure you have what is required, whether it's a state ID, a driver's license, whatever. Go to your Secretary of State's office to get this information. Now, if you are a first time voter and you live in a state where you can register and vote on the same day, make sure you take your voter registration information with you so that you can easily do that. Sample ballot, just print it off. You can take that with you. You can take that in there. Listen, depending upon lines where you are, mask and hand sanitizer, okay? COVID's still out here, y'all. Um, reading material if you're in lines, and there are lines. There are lines in Kentucky right now. There are also lines in Mississippi right now. There were lines on, I believe it was Saturday. Was it Saturday? Friday or Saturday in Ohio. There were lines. So take some reading material, take some snacks. Okay, y'all take some snacks. Now, if you are diabetic, if you better take a protein bar, take something. Okay, have your bottled water. Georgia, y'all got a water rule. You can't hand out water to people in Georgia while they're in line. And I hear it's a little warm there. So bring your water. Okay. Bring your water. Portable charger to charge your phone. Okay. But don't call people while you're in there talking about who do I vote for. Don't do that. Any type of prescription medicine that you know you need to take at a certain time, if you know there are lines, do that. Have identification on you if you need assistance so they can point you out ahead of time. Have your information on your candidates. Y'all be patient if there are lines. Have a positive attitude. If somebody tells you you can't vote, don't cuss them out because you're going to be flagged. You will be flagged. Seriously, just be calm. Pop back up that information line again for us, Isaiah. Voter protection. And then there's the election protection 1866 our vote. And then the voters' rights number, voting rights 800-253-3931. Just call them. Just say, oh, okay. Go out to your car, call them. There it is in other languages so that you can contact them. Thank you so much. But y'all, seriously, don't argue with them. Just say, oh, okay. Go outside, make the phone call, get what you need, go back in and ask the questions. Hello, somebody. That's how you do that. And then remember, ladies, leggings, not tights. Leggings, not tights. leggings, not tights. All right, Dr. Internet says, but if the judge would have thrown him in lockup for contempt, his people would have destroyed the jail. And that's how they're reacting. But at some point, we need to call their bluff on all this. Seriously, we need to call their bluff because that's overkill. Elizabeth says, absolutely, the right to cast a physical vote is important to many of our elders. You can help them. Yep. Sorry, read that twice. And then she said, a young man asked me about that yesterday. He thought he was registered when he graduated from high school and found out he was not. I had no idea whether he could register same day and vote here. In Ohio, you cannot. That's not a rule here yet in Ohio. But I was still, hopefully he still decided to register so he can be ready for the March primary. On a t-shirt, please, leggings, not tights. Maybe we should put that on one of our vote t-shirts that we arranged. And then, so yeah, a lot's going on, but that's our show for today. We really wanted to take time to talk about voting. Again, when we return, we'll be here tomorrow. But I'm just saying, after this election, we're really gearing up. We are still looking for volunteers to register people to vote. That's going to be in the Friday rundown, the whole packet of how you can do that. Those of you who have been out there doing it, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know we're not doing the monthly emails as we were doing when we started because we wanted to look at some things to see what changes we needed to make. We're going to start the Ready Action Circles. The Ready Action Circles came from our magazine, Ready Publication. We're now Ready Media, and News in Motion falls under Ready Media. We will start scheduling Ready Action tables where we will go to different cities. We went to a lot back in, I don't even know what year it was. I think it was 2016. We went around a lot in 2016. And so we're going to pick that back up. And again, that's the town halls we've been talking about for several weeks now. We want to start that. We're praying that some people will come alongside of us to help us be able to do that financially. If not, maybe they'll be done by a webinar, but we know it's important. We don't want to just say we're not going to do it. So be looking for that as well. But y'all, please vote. The inspirational message today is that your voice matters. It does. All throughout the Bible, we can see where our voice matters. We say it sometimes so often that it's just something that a lot of the Black churches just repeat. But it is true. You really are the head and not the tail. You are more than a conqueror. That means your voice matters. You have authority. Your voice matters because who can have authority if they're not using their voice? Your voice matters. And today, in days like today, your vote is your voice. And it matters. So exercise your right to vote. You have a right to do that. If you are not a registered voter, don't ignore today. Say, okay, let me register today. I may not be able to vote today in some states, but in the states that I can vote, let me register and vote. In the states where I cannot vote and register the same day, let me still register. And then, y'all, we have to accept the responsibility to make sure we're checking our voter registration on a regular basis. All right, y'all, that's all we have today. Please, if you know anybody who needs assistance, do so. Please vote, use your voice. Together we rise, do your part. And the image that I put out there this morning, I say, hi, I am Gail Dudley. Please vote. We want you all to vote. It's so important to do so. And go ahead and get your gear now for 2024. You can go to gaildudley.com/shop and get that. I have the t-shirt the guy has on up top. It comes in white, it comes in black. I think it comes in a couple other colors, but we just want people to vote. Elizabeth says, yes, I want to be a part of that. And there's your election phone numbers. Thank you, Isaiah, for being on the key with that, putting that up there. All right, y'all. That's all we have for today. Y'all know what I say. Keep moving. Make some bold moves, y'all. And remember to live your life in abundance. We're out.
Motion.